Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, which is so weird to say because it's been 4 months since I posted, but I'm so much more motivated now to post and stream and all that, and I will put my posting schedule for the next month and my stream schedule for the next month in the description, just so you guys can know. So subscribe and like, and let's read some stories again. The first story comes from user NoUse7381, and it's titled, "My Grandparents Came to Visit." My first post on here, on 10/22/23, I was walking my dog. It was around 4 p.m., so daytime, and I was walking through a small woodland area near my house. There is a river that runs through the path and trees on either side. I walk through here most days. It was on a Sunday, but it wasn't busy at all. Normally families are out walking on the weekends as it runs through the middle of residential areas. I had already thought it was strange that I hadn't seen anyone around, as it felt eerily quiet. I hadn't seen any cars on my way there either. I was walking along a straight bit of the path and my dog stopped and looked back. I looked back also and saw a couple walking towards us. They were older and walking with linked arms. They were around 10 meters away, and I could clearly see the female had white hair and the male was much taller than her. I couldn't see the male's face as there was a tree branch hanging down, which was just slightly in front of him. I couldn't see their faces as the sunlight was shining from behind them, making them look kind of shadowy. I immediately thought, that looks just like my gran and granddad, who were both dead. I looked down at my dog as I wanted to keep walking so we didn't get in their way. When I looked back a second later, expecting them to be much nearer to me by now, there was nobody there. There are no pathways or exits on that bit of the path, and if they had turned back, I would have still been able to see them walking in the other direction. As there are no bends, I stood completely still for about 10 seconds. I had a weird feeling. I felt confused, as it made no sense that these people could have disappeared. I had such a strong pull to go walking that way, looking for them, but then I remembered a quote, I think it's from the woman in black, about not chasing after shadows. I sent a message to my family about this. They told me it was the 2nd anniversary of our grand's funeral. I genuinely had no idea, so it wasn't on my mind or anything. I do believe in ghosts, but have never seen anything like this before. I feel comforted. Thank you for reading. That one is so sweet. I love, sweet stories about, grandparents especially. The next story comes from user, I don't know how to pronounce that, but it was there, and it's titled Creeper. In elementary school, my mom used to let me walk to school. The walk was about a minute. I lived right across the street from the school. I didn't walk alone, of course. I had my friends walking with me. One morning, though, everything changed. My friend and I were walking when I spotted a car that looked just like my sister's. I am 10 years younger than her, so I was about 11 when this happened, so she was 21-ish. I walked up to the car waving with a huge smile on my face. When I saw who was in the car, I was in for a bigger surprise. It was a man smiling creepily back at me. He rolled down his window. "Oh, hi, little girl. Do I know you?" I shook my head no. My cheeks were starting to flush because I was embarrassed for waving at the wrong car. I started to walk away when he asked, "You kids go to school here?" My friend stopped in her tracks and looked back and said, "Yes, of course we do." I looked at her with panic eyes. I knew better than to tell him we went to school here. He began to unbuckle his seatbelt and he reached in the back of the car. He pulled something out from a bag in the back seat and put it in the front. I didn't know what he pulled out of the bag, and I don't want to know. He asked what our names were and how old we were. At this point, I looked at my friend and shook my head. Luckily, a car pulled up and the woman inside rolled down her window and asked, "Is everything all right here?" The man looked me dead in the face and said, "Yes, just chatting with my niece." I looked at the lady and told her I didn't know the man. The man took off in the other direction, and the lady told us she worked at our elementary school and she was going to let us walk across the crosswalk to get there, and she was going to make sure that man didn't come back. She waited until we were inside. That woman probably saved my friend and I's life. I like to read paranormal stories, like, so much more, just because, like, that's so much more likely to happen than that. This next story, this is the last story of this video, but this one comes from Supergood3994, and it's titled The Haunted Doll. And I haven't read these stories. I don't usually, like, read them fully. I read, like, the first bit to make sure it's okay. I love stories about haunted dolls, like, so much. I want to buy, like, one off of Etsy, honestly. Hey, good video idea, guys. Would you guys want me to buy a haunted doll off of Etsy and we'll just see how it goes? This actually just happened recently in the past month at my boyfriend's house. There's this doll. The doll is very old, plastic, with short brown hair. Very creepy. Half of its face is melted into its shoulder, so the look of it gives off a weird vibe. Not even the look, but being around it, the energy is off. It's pretty tall, maybe like 3 feet or so. I didn't really pay attention to it the first couple times I went over in the last month. My boyfriend's mom actually found the doll in a storage unit. She goes through storage units. They found the doll wrapped up in a bag and decided to take it home with them. When I first picked up the doll, I actually felt kind of scared but comfortable at the same time with it. I'm a very spiritual person, so I knew something was attached to the doll. When I had left their house, I got a call from my boyfriend telling me it was moving around the house and ending up in weird places. He decided to mess around with the doll and threw it down the stairs, to which its leg fell off. Out popped a brown piece of paper. The message written on it was worn off from old age. I went over there a week after and brought the doll upstairs with us, to which the dog was up there and started barking and growling at the doll. Oh, sorry, I was trying to figure out what the letter said, but I figured it out. They couldn't figure it out either. Okay. Because it was worn. But I felt comfortable with it and didn't want to let go of it for some reason. It felt like something came over me and I was attached to the doll and whatever was attached to the doll. My boyfriend started asking me why I was acting weird and told me to stop and give him the doll. I don't remember how I was acting because it felt like something took over. I kept telling him that Amy will get mad and that she likes me. That's where the doll got its name from. My boyfriend finally took the doll from me and put it in the opposite room from him. Through his vent, you can see the room it was in. The next morning, we woke up and the doll was staring right into his room from the vent. I swore to never pick that doll up again, because whatever was attached to it wasn't good. Ever since then, I've been having dreams about demons in the doll. That is terrifying. That is why I love haunted doll stories, but that is so awful. And, yeah. Ah!
I'm not done yet.
You're so handsome. Hi.
I need your black face paint.
Okay. I'm almost done. I just finished the stories. I just have to do an outro. Is that your outro? Okay. Yeah. Say bye.
Gang, gang. Where is it though?
Here, I'll get it. Okay. Bye, guys. Thank you so much for watching the stories. And now I'm posting every Friday at 2 p.m. Central Standard Time. And I stream every Saturday now. So watch that. And I'm going to be streaming a ton in April. So subscribe and be ready for all the content. And thank you so much for watching.